We begin tonight with day 5 of the desperate search and rescue operation at the condo collapse site in Surfside. Crews sadly finding another body in the mountain of debris, but they continue looking for any signs of life.
We're talking about pulverized concrete. We're talking about steel. Every time there's an action, there's a reaction.
Rescuers giving us a closer look at exactly what they're facing today, using heavy equipment and cutting-edge technology to delicately move through the rubble as carefully as possible.
Rescuers still holding out hope that people will be found alive 5 days after the collapse.
And here is the very latest. 10 people are now confirmed dead. 151 remain unaccounted for.
And this continues to be a search and rescue operation. There are many crevices and voids where firefighters believe someone could survive.
Engineers are compiling evidence, so let's get right to Local 10 News reporter Glenna Milberg with much more. Glenna.
Calvin, Nicole, that was the double whammy news today as the families learned that there was a 10th person recovered. They're also learning that the rescuers with their infrared camera did find those void spaces big enough for someone to survive. At this moment, they have not found survivors, but they are digging in that building rubble as others are digging in the paperwork for what went wrong. Shift change for the search teams. The toll shows on their faces.
We did recover another body. That brings the count to 10.
Grim news from the mountain that just 5 days ago was homes and families. Today, a dangerous, intense scene. Families of those lost have seen this firsthand, during which a rescuer slipped 25 feet.
We're talking about pulverized concrete. We're talking about steel. Every time there's an action, there's a reaction.
Still and again, the focus is the search, hoping for a rescue, calling in recovery. The medical examiner and Miami-Dade's homicide detectives are on site here with rapid DNA testing.
It immediately goes to the lab and we expedite that component. Once we have a positive match, we, in a very sensitive and personal manner, we make contact with the next of kin.
Families and survivors who lost everything are the focus of FEMA, state and local services.
That involves relocation assistance. It involves things like mental health counseling. And we have folks, we've beefed that up here on the ground.
The governor and Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz met with the federal team that investigated the 9/11 tower collapses here for their preliminaries.
Anecdotally, but the issues like the questions around the structural damage to the pool, that area that has been mentioned, and other different points of weakness.
And we now know from past documents, from building records, that there is already a focus on that pool area, on deteriorating concrete, on the slab, and in the garage area. It seems like this is going to be a bottom-up situation, and that is all underway as we speak. We now here out at the sort of a staging area where the rescue teams are coming and going. At the very border of Miami Beach and Surfside, we are expecting that same crew of elected officials and first responders to come out here and give an update. They have done this with military precision, and they are very focused on getting information out, but to the families first. I'm Glenna Milberg, live in Surfside, Local 10 News.